Hey everybody, Corbin Hostler back, fresh back from PAX and the Magic World Championship. As a matter of fact, I was lucky enough to go for Wizards of the Coast and cover the World Championship last week at PAX. And if you haven't seen any of that coverage, whether on Twitch or the text coverage on the Mother site, you should definitely go look at it all. It was great. We got to look at a lot of Kaladesh cards. We got to see the big reveal of Chandra in person. We got to see the best Magic players in the world. I got to cover the finals myself. It was an extremely awesome weekend. But now I'm back. Let's talk Modern. Specifically, let's talk Thing in the Ice Ascension, which is a deck that Tamada, a Japanese player, played at Worlds last week. And this is a crazy one. This has been floating around Magic Online recently, and I just took the World Championship list because why not? Get a call out how well he did to make it there, and he chose to battle with this deck. And this is a crazy deck. You see Pyromancer's Ascension, you think, oh, it's Storm. Storm plays this card. This is what Storm does. That's their whole thing. They make a bunch of mana. They cast a bunch of lightning bolts. They grape shot you to death, etc. This is not that, and I won't blame you for thinking that it is. It looks very similar. But Pyromancer Ascension in this deck is essentially just a value card. It's crazy. It's just good. Your other engine in this card is Thing in the Ice, which finally is finding itself a home in Modern. We all sort of, when it came out, knew that it could. The Awoken Horror is just so strong. The ability is so powerful. 7/8 is huge. The 0/4 blocks. It doesn't get lightning bolted. We all thought it would eventually find a home in Modern, and it has in this deck. So what is this deck trying to do? We have our Jeskai mana base, blue, white, red. We have a lot of things you'll see in a Storm deck. Gitaxian Probe, Serum Visions, Thought Scour, Faithless Looting, Manamorphose. Where we go different is that we have Pyromancer Ascension, not as a Storm piece because we don't have any rituals. We have Thing in the Ice that we just want to cast a bunch of spells and flip. We have Vision of Beyond because this deck just fills his graveyard up like crazy, and you can sometimes draw 3 off of this. Plus, it's very easy, 1 mana cantrip to set up your Ascension. We actually win very, very simply. We throw lightning bolts at our opponent's face. 4 lightning bolts, 4 lightning helix. You just launch them all at their face. Sometimes you can just bolt somebody 5 times in a match and win because they've dealt themselves damage. But more than likely, you control the board with them for a while, and eventually you set up the Pyromancer Ascension loop where you hit them with a lightning bolt copied 3 times and deal them 9 damage. Because of course, when you have the 2 quest counters on it, by playing spells with the same name spells in your graveyard, you get them. And once you have 2 on there, you start copying stuff, you just go off, and you lightning helix, lightning bolt them to death. Alternatively, we just cast a bunch of spells, flip a Thing in the Ice, attack them with a 7/8. It's great. Rounding the deck out with Romance to be safe. So this deck is a lot of fun. So some of the things that it does is Pyromancer Ascension, when you have it and you have Manamorphose, you actually net mana and cards. And you might know this trick from Storm, but if you copy this spell, you're going to pay 2 mana in. You're going to get 4 mana back out because you're getting to resolve it twice, and you're going to draw 2 cards. Also, if you are going off, and this has come up before, and it's rare, but it comes up. Say you're in a situation where you need to draw through your deck, and you don't have the cards to win. It's very tight, and you really need to go off this turn. One of the tricks you can actually do with an active Pyromancer Ascension is to cast Manamorphose. Your Ascension copies it. The copy resolves first. You let the copy resolve. You put 2 mana into your mana pool. Okay? So then you cast Remand, targeting your Manamorphose. So that counters the original Manamorphose. It goes back to your hand. You draw a card. You draw a card from the Remand. So you're drawing 2 cards this way. And you come out a little behind on mana, but you get to draw more cards. And then, of course, if you can just cast Manamorphose again to make that mana back up. It's great. You can, copy and Remand. You can copy your own Remand, draw a card. You can do a lot of different things with this deck. A lot of ways to get through your deck. It's really great. And that's really it. This is the deck. It's had a lot of success. Moving on to the sideboard, sort of the things you'd expect. Path to Exile for things like Infect or things you just really need pass for. You need that hard removal early. Rest for the Weary for the burn matchups, you gain life. Dispel Swan Song for the combo matchups. Blood Moon for Valakut's decks. You can board it in against whatever other decks you think you want your Blood Moon against. Anger the Gods to sweep away the Coco decks or Affinity, things like that. Engineer Explosives to play cleanup. Very, very simple, straightforward. The deck has 18 lands only, but it tops out at 2 mana. Literally nothing costs more than 2 mana in the deck except a flashback of Faithful Saluting. So it's a lot of fun. This deck's awesome, and I'm excited to show it to you, so let's see how it goes.